and say an official welcome and thanks for joining us this morning for Check It Out. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sam Bowers, consultant for continuing education at the State Library of Iowa, and the lovely Janae Jackson-Doering will be running us through the new releases for August. So Janae, I will let you take it away.
Awesome. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully you got some coffee or a wonderful, lovely beverage with you. Welcome to Check It Out, and we're going to get started because we got a lot to get through. And let's see. There we go. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Janae Jackson-Doering. I'm the Youth Services Consultant for the State Library of Iowa. So if you have any questions about youth programming, collection development, starting story times, starting teen programs, please reach out. You can email me, call me. I can come out to your library, Zoom consultations, whatever you need. I put this picture on the right of your screen because I wanted to share something that brings me joy. The last couple months have been puzzles. Puzzles have brought me a lot of joy. I went to a puzzle swap here in Des Moines, and I swapped my old puzzle, a 1,000-piece puzzle, and I came back with four puzzles. And my husband's like, "Where are we going to put these?" So puzzles have been bringing me a lot of joy lately. It's just helps you feel calm and helps me kind of think things through. So this is the picture of all the puzzles that I'm starting to work on. I've just got done. Let me see. I got done with the New York one. I'm working on the one that has the duck, right? The duck, the second puzzle next to the butterfly. So yes, puzzles have brought me joy this month and these last couple months. And I hope you find something that brings you joy. So what's our plan today? Our plan today, we're going to take a peek at Storytime Standouts. Those are the books that you can use for story time. We have 3 of those on tap today. We have 2nd through 3rd grade chapter books, early readers, picture books, children and teen nonfiction, middle grades, teen fiction, graphic novels and manga, what I'm reading, and upcoming events and giveaways. So let's get started. All right, so our first section is Storytime Standouts. For those of you that are new, you're like, what is Storytime Standouts? What are they? These are the best books to use for story times because I know it's hard to go through picture book to try to find those best standout books to read. So we've got 3 for you today. The first one on my list is called In the Night Garden. This is written and illustrated by Karen Berger. This book received starred reviews in School Library Journal, Booklist, Kirkus, and Publishers Weekly. This is a calming, charming, collage illustrated picture book. This would be perfect for a bedtime story time, or perfect for bedtime between caregiver and child. But it's about a cat that exploring the mysterious and beautiful experiences that happen during nighttime. So this cat is tiptoeing on a roof. There's a family of foxes that play along the edges. The cat is just wandering through all parts of the night. And at the very end of the book, the cat comes home to the little girl and they are sleeping together. The sentences are short, but they keep the children engaged. There's paper collage cutouts throughout this whole book, so you can see the beautiful illustrations. And the cat in the book is named Cupcake. There's a info part in the back of the book about the cat. And Cupcake inspired this story, and Cupcake does make an appearance in the book. So again, a wonderful book for bedtime, sweet illustrations, nice, calming picture book for parents if they're looking for something for kids for bedtime, or if you're doing a bedtime story time. And the next one is called Mine. This is written by Candace Fleming and illustrated by Eric Roman. I love Eric Roman. He wrote the book Duck Rabbit, which is a very funny picture book. This received a starred review in Hornbook and Booklist. And this is a rhyming romp, and it follows a mouse, a deer, a fox, bear, and hare. And they all want one thing. They want this shiny red apple to fall from the tree. And as you can see in the illustrations, each animal is dreaming of what they would do with the apple. And of course, the word mine is throughout the book. And so they're fighting over this apple, and you're wondering who's going to get the apple. And it's a complete surprise on who gets the apple. But I love the illustrations in this book. The animals are so expressive. This would be cute for just a silly, fun story time, or if you're doing an apple story time. It's just very cute, very fun. Eric Roman also wrote the book My Friend Rabbit. I love his illustrations. This is a read aloud winner. So definitely grab mine. Oh, Taylor says mine is hilarious. We love it. Yes. Wonderful. And I know it's early to think about snow. I know nobody wants to say that horrible S word, snow, but take a peek at this book. This is called Just One Flake. And this is written by Travis Junker, and it's also illustrated by Travis and several other artists, including Tom Engelberger, which, if you know who Tom Engelberger is, he did the Origami Yoda series. And this is about a little boy named Liam. Liam just wants to catch one snowflake, just one. He just wants one snowflake. And he wants to catch the snowflake on his tongue. And every time he tries to catch it, something happens. He lays on the snow, trying to catch the snowflake with his tongue, and whoosh, the wind takes the snowflakes away. He tries to make a snowman, only to miss all the snowflakes. He finally, in this middle part of the page, he finally dives into the snow and catches a snowflake on his glove, only to melt. And this bottom picture to your right is the snowflake that he catches in his green glove. And I love how it shows the shape of the snowflake and as it melts. He finally is deflated. He goes inside finally, realizing, he did catch a snowflake, but the snowflake that he really likes to catch the most is he has a little mug of snowflakes, and he has hot chocolate. So he likes to catch the hot chocolate, which tastes even better. This is a wonderful addition to add to your snow theme story time. This would be a great, simple picture book, simple sentences. It's not long. It moves, and the kids are engaged to see what happens if he does catch a snowflake. Travis Jonker is an elementary school librarian in Michigan, and I love how he created a sweet and fun snow story. And I just really love this illustration of the snowflake, because I think for kids, they need to see what a snowflake looks like. We're so used to seeing snow, but not an actual snowflake. So you could do a lot of fun things with this. This would be great for even a snow STEM story time if you're wanting to plan that as well. Okay, we are going to move now and pivot to 2nd to 3rd grade chapter books. Our first book on tap is Wednesday Wilson Connects the Dots. This is written by Bree Galbraith and illustrated by Morgan Goebel. And thank you, Sam. Sam says I have the cutest slides. Thank you. This received a starred review in School Library Journal. This is book 3 of the series. So if you don't have book 3, or you don't have the previous 2, definitely grab those as well. Wednesday Wilson is an entrepreneur. She and her best friend Charlie have taken the day off of school in this book. They have the day off of school, so they plan to work on a new business idea. However, their fun day of no school gets upended when they're forced to spend it with Ruby Beautiful, their former best friend who dumped them for the Emmas. Things get even more stranger when Ruby comes to Charlie's defense after the Emmas make fun of his freckles. And Ruby's cool older brother Raj says that everyone wants freckles these days. So Wednesday's thinking, could this be a new business idea? So you'll follow Wednesday and her friend Charlie as they come up with this idea of making freckles and seeing if they can make money and stay away from the Emmas. Fun, engaging, simple books for 2nd and 3rd graders. So if you want something that's a little bit different, check out Wednesday Wilson. Next is a brand new book from Kate DiCamillo. She is the author of Because of Winn-Dixie. This is The Puppets of Spellhorst, or a Norendi tale, and this is book 1 of the series. This is written by Kate DiCamillo and illustrated by Julie Morstad. This received a starred review in Booklist and Publishers Weekly. And this is about a sea captain with a secret. This sea captain is placed in a trunk and 5 friends, a king, a wolf, a girl, a boy, and an owl. They bicker and they boast, and they comfort one another in the dark. Individually, they all dream of song and light, freedom and flight, purpose and glory. But they all agree that they are part of a larger story, and they're bound to each other, each by chance and bonded by their mysteries. And when, at last, their fates arrive, they land on a mantle in a blue room in the home of 2 little girls. And this book has a lot of secrets. And this is the first of the Norendi Tales series. Kate DiCamillo is projecting this to be a trio of novellas. And each book will have illustrations. And this one has black and white. The further tales that are moving along, they will also have black and white illustrations. This would be good for a read aloud, but it's teaching kids about courage. So if you're looking for something new to offer kids, definitely have them read The Puppets of Spellhorst. Now we are up to Buddy and Bee, Not Really Buddies. This is book 1 of the series, and it's written by Jan Carr and illustrated by Chris Merkai. This is about 2 kids, Buddy, who is ready for school. He's excited about the first day of school, but he's not thrilled about his new classmate, Bee. Bee is, let's just face it, she's annoying. She's all up in his face. She just wants to be a show off. She wants to just be kind of the center of attention, and Buddy is not for this at all. And Buddy has to learn how to work with Bee in order to survive school. Some of the situations they get into, I definitely could follow because, kids are just kids. There's silly, quirky feelings involved, and learning each other how to not be in someone's space. I really liked how this book approached that. The illustrations in it are black and white, but kids could really adapt to what's going on between Buddy and Bee. Bee just wants to be accepted. Buddy just wants to just survive the school day. But if you like silly situations, definitely read Buddy and Bee, Not Really Buddies, by Jan Carr and Chris Merkai. Now, I have a series alert. Oh my gosh, series alert. There is a series update. And I don't know if you know this, but Dork Diaries is coming out with another tale. And by the way, this is book 15 in the series. How many of you have kids coming up to you? Do you have the new Dork Diaries? Do you have new this? Now you can answer their question. So I see Dallas Carey says yes. So this is book 15 in the series. This is called Dork Diaries, Tales from a Not-So-Posh Paris Adventure. This is written and illustrated by Rachel Renee Russell. And in this latest installment of the Dork Diaries series, readers will follow Nikki Maxwell and her band, only this time they are on their way to Paris. But there are some roadblocks along the way, some silly adventures. All the illustrations, black and white, and Nikki is expected to speak French, but she's learning her French skills are not reliable, and they get into a lot of hijinks as they go along. So you definitely, if you have girls that love this series and they're following the series, you definitely want to get this on your calendar because this is coming out next month. Dork Diaries, Tales from a Not-So-Posh Paris Adventure. All right, we are moving along to early readers. Our first early reader is called Best Buddies, A Pie for Us. This is written by Vicky Fang and illustrated by Louisa Leal. This received a starred review in School Library Journal. And we've got two animals on tap. We have Sniff, who's a dog, and Scratch is the cat. They're best friends most of the time, but in these three short stories, kids can read about Sniff and Scratch's different ways to reach a pie on the kitchen counter. And Sniff panics when Scratch gets stuck in a box and they meet a strange new dog and cat just like them. This book has bright illustrations, simple sentences. This is a winner. I love Scholastic's Acorn series for those kids who are just starting to read longer sentences or simpler sentences. Very colorful, fun, and engaging artwork and engaging stories for kids. So definitely pick up Best Buddies. See the Ghost. Three stories about things you cannot see. This is written by one of my favorite authors, David LaRochelle, who wrote the picture book Moo. I love that picture book. I love anything by David LaRochelle. And it's illustrated by Mike Wanutka. This received starred reviews in Booklist and Kirkus. And this has 3 short stories. And this is about a dog and a cat. And this dog and a cat are dealing with something they can't see, a ghost. Each chapter has a simple sentence. It starts with one sentence, and then when you turn the page, there's 2 sentences. Then you turn the page, 3 sentences. So each time the child turns the page, there's the picture on one spread, the sentence on the other, and then the sentences grow as they're reading along. But the animals are scared by this ghost. They don't know what to do. They try to have a picnic, and the ghost is scaring them. The ghost scares the cat. The ghost scares the dog. The ghost even scares itself in front of a mirror, which I found quite funny. Also, there's a story about the wind, and when the dog and cat are trying to have a picnic, the wind is so strong, it blows the animals away and it blows the ghosts away. And in the last story, there's a ghost fairy named Trixie who changes the cat with her invisible magic wand. She changes the cat blue, and the dog the dog changes blue, and she changes the cat into a unicorn. So there's cute and simple stories, cute and simple sentences. I'd recommend this for kindergarten, first grade. Definitely grab See the Ghost, 3 stories about things you cannot see. Okay, we are moving to picture books. And yes, I do love this series too. Everyone is saying, yes, I love the La Rochelle books. Yes. And let's see, I have high school seniors and graduates who still want this just to reminisce on books they read in elementary, middle school. Absolutely, Taylor. We are going to reminisce now on picture books. Our first book in the series is called Vamos, Let's Go Read. This is written and illustrated by Raoul III, and the colors are by Elaine Bay. This received a starred review in School Library Journal, and this is the 4th book in the Vamos series. And little Lobo and his friends are excited for this Out of This World book festival. And it's at the Guadalupean Library. And it's held at the Guadalupean Library every year. Each of the animals, I should say, has a special book that they're looking for. But there's so much to see and do. They're just so excited. In the book has cookbook demonstrations and comics workshops and mask making and language classes. And so they're seeing this at the library and they're very excited. And so each one of them wants to find the perfect book to take home. I really like this Vamos series because it mixes Spanish and English words that kids can easily pick up and understand. It shows them how fun the library can be. I love the illustrations, and they're vibrant and they're colorful, and it's just a wonderful series to have. So definitely grab Vamos, Let's Go Read. This next book is called The Biggest Mistake. This is written and illustrated by Camila Pintonato, and translated by Debbie Bebo. This book is unique. It's about a small lion whose mama tells him, hey, it's time for you to catch gazelles on your own. I've done this all the time. It's your turn. So this lion takes it seriously. So the bottom to your left, the bottom picture, the lion is working out, so he's lifting weights. He's got a rope. He's got a hula hoop. He's got some weights and a jump rope. He thinks he has to be faster than the gazelle, so he has some red sneakers so that way he can run after the gazelle. And so he tries many times to catch the gazelle. And once he does catch the gazelle, he catches it only to let it go. And at the end of the book, he asks the gazelle to now catch him. I thought it was a cute story. It's a wonderful social emotional picture book, super engaging, super funny, super silly, but definitely grab The Biggest Mistake by Camila Pintonado. Okay, we are moving on. We are moving to children and teen nonfiction. A lot of you had mentioned in the comments, we need some nonfiction, we need some nonfiction. So we have a couple slides for you for nonfiction selections. The first selection is called My Head Has a Bellyache and More Nonsense for Mischievous Kids and Immature Grown-Ups. That's a long title. This is written by Chris Harris and illustrated by Andrea Cernrumi. I hope I pronounced that right. This received a starred review in Kirkus and Hornbook. And if you have fans of Jack Prelutsky or Shel Silverstein, they will be in good company when kids pick up this book. The poems in this book are silly, they're funny, they're all about growing up. There's one poem called The Spelling Test, and I had to type it out. It goes like this: A is for whistle, B is for green, C is for marker, D is for bean, E is for xylophone, pillow, or zest, and F is for what's at the top of my test. Super funny. I laughed out loud when I read that because I just thought that was it's so silly. It's funny. So some of the poems are silly, zany, lighthearted. All of the illustrations in this book are green, white, and black illustrations. So any type of drawings, it's green, it's in either green, white, or black. This would be a great addition to your poetry section. There's one hopeful poem called Watch Out World, which I adored because it's about a father looking at his child making a mess in the house and realizing, oh my gosh, I have to raise this young person into someone that's going to help lead and change the world. So it's a mix of funny, lighthearted, but also hopeful poetry. Again, great addition to your poetry collection. All right, are you guys getting hungry? Because when you read Chinese Menu, the history, myths, and legends behind your favorite foods, you're going to be hungry after reading this. This book, written by Grace Lin, received so many reviews, starred reviews, School Library Journal, Kirkus, Hornbook, Publishers Weekly, Booklist, and School Library Connection. For those who know Grace Lin, we know her from her story Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, one of my favorite novels. She has concocted a delicious book of food, folklore, and history. This book features 40 stories about the origins of favorite Chinese dishes. Kids can learn about how wonton soup tells the story about the creation of the world. They can learn about egg rolls, all these different kinds of Chinese foods. There is a recipe in the back of the book that kids can make at home. It has colorful illustrations as well. All I got to tell you is get ready for your mouth to water, because looking at all these different types of foods, I was already hungry for Chinese food. I was like, man, I just want some Chinese food, like just, chicken fried rice. I'm a sucker for chicken fried rice or orange chicken, but make sure you pick up Chinese Menu. You will be hungry too, just like I was. And speaking of more foods, for the ages 4 to 7 crowd, we have Look and Cook Snacks, a first book of recipes and pictures. This is written by Valerie Fisher, and this book is unique. It is geared for ages 4 to 7, and it's focused on children learning to cook by viewing the pictures in the book. I saw this on a review page in Massachusetts, on a Massachusetts website, and I was like, this looks interesting. Please tell me more. It has step-by-step visual instructions, so it lets kids who can't read yet become visual learners by looking at the pictures to make the recipes with, of course, a parent or a caregiver or older adult. Inside this book is a guide to kitchen basics, so kids can learn how to measure and mix and proper handling of safe-to-use kitchen equipment. The picture that you see below is a picture for Choco Chew cookies. So they're learning what ingredients are in there, what items they'll need to cook the cookies, the temperature. So it has really all those pictures to become visual cookers and visual learners. With the Choco Chew cookies, another recipe it had in here was a recipe for banana muffins, or they call it banana muffin. It was kind of like all one word. But this, if you need more cookbooks to add to your cooking collection for kids, check this out. Next, for teen nonfiction, this is called Impossible Escape, a true story of survival and heroism in Nazi Europe. This is written by Steve Sheinkin. You should know that name because he wrote the nonfiction book Bomb. And this received star reviews in School Library Journal, Publishers Weekly, and Kirkus. Excuse me. These stories follow Rudolph and Goethe. These two individuals escaped Auschwitz, and they became the first survivors to expose the Nazi concentration camps to the world. And mind you, these are teenagers when this happened. This book includes diagrams of the camp, black and white illustrations and photos. This would be an excellent, excellent book if you have students looking for Holocaust literature for reports. This would be a nice addition to add to their studies. So definitely check out Impossible Escape, the true story of survival and heroism in Nazi Europe. I'm checking my time here. Okay, we are moving on to middle grade books. The first book on my list is called Remember Us. This is written by Jacqueline Woodson, and it received star reviews in Kirkus, Publishers Weekly, and School Library Journal. This book is a historical fiction novel set in the 1970s, and it features 12-year-old Sage, an African-American girl who no longer feels comfortable with the girls in her neighborhood. She is a member of the Bushwick neighborhood, and for her, she'd rather be worrying about playing basketball than worrying about her looks, because she gets questioned about her looks a lot. And in the 1970s, the neighborhood that she lives in is called the Matchbox. Why is it called the Matchbox? Because there's a series of all the fires that are starting in the neighborhood, and no one knows why these fires are burning down parts of the neighborhood. And Sage's mother wants them to move to a safer area, but Sage is really reluctant to leave the community where she grew up, especially since her father, who was a fireman, was killed in the line of duty. There's a lot of themes of growing up, bullying, grieving over a loved one. Powerful read. Definitely pick up Remember Us by Jacqueline Woodson. Our next book is called We Still Belong. This is written by Christine Day, and this received starred reviews in Kirkus, Publishers Weekly, and School Library Journal. This is a Native American tale about Wesley. She's 12 years old, in middle school, and is a member of the Upper Skagit tribe. And she has two important things in her backpack and two important things on her mind. She has the poem that she wrote for Indigenous Peoples Day, and a card for Ryan, the cute green-eyed boy from Gamer Club, and she wants to ask him to the school dance. And she's hoping everything goes right. She's hoping that she can get him to go to the dance with her. But the school day does not go according to plan. And she's comforted by her friend Hanan, and she arrives home in tears. And things get worse. Her grandpa and her mom have a fight about about the mom's job. And Wesley learns that her aunt and uncle have to move out of the house with their baby cousin. And in the midst of all this, when Wesley makes a new friend, and by the time the family arrives at the local powwow, she is looking forward to the dancing and food. So the powwow has helped turn her day around, and it ends on a high note. This is a great realistic fiction choice, especially for kids, especially in middle schools. Some of the scenes were very relatable, especially getting that excitement of asking someone out to the dance. I mean, who can't relate with that? So definitely grab We Still Belong by Christine Day. West of the Sea. This is written by Stephanie Willing. This received a starred review in Publishers Weekly. And this focuses on Haven. Haven is 12. She loves paleontology. She loves fossils, and she's fascinated with bones. And she's fascinated with fossils and bones so much that one dry summer, she knows she saw something that was not part of nature, at least not of current nature. She's interested in mythology, and she has a unique situation going on because she just found out she can turn into a salamander cryptid with gills and a tail. I don't know if any other tweens can do that. She lives on a small farm in Texas with her family. And for the most part, with this secret, she has a pretty good life. But one day her mom goes missing and she doesn't come home, and she knows something's not right. So she grabs her sister and their new friend, Rye, who's kind of like the new kid in town, and they borrow a food truck and they go on a search to find their mom. This book mixes mythology and mental illness, identity, neurodivergence, and adolescence. This is definitely a recommended coming of age story. So if you enjoy mythology, if you have children that are looking for fun mythology fiction, grab West of the Sea by Stephanie Willing. Okay, we are moving to teen fiction. And I don't know if you guys know, but this book is out. One of Us is Back. This is the last book in the One of Us is Lying series. This is written by Karen M. McManus, and this received a starred review in Publishers Weekly. I know this book series has gotten a lot of traction, especially with the show One of Us is Lying that was on Peacock. So a member of the Bayview crew has disappeared again, and everyone feels like they could be next. And throughout these series, the group of core kids, Addie, Browen, Cooper, and Nate, they have been through so much in these last two books, and they're kind of on edge because history is repeating itself. They see a digital display board that says "Time for a new game, Bayview," and these guys are scared. So if you've read the first two books, get ready for more secrets. There's a copy, more secrets, more targeting. If you like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, or if you have teens who love murder mysteries, grab One of Us is Back for Them by Karen M. McManus. Next book is I Am Not Alone. This is written by Francisco X. Stork. This received starred reviews in Kirkus, Booklist, Bulletin of the Center for Children's Books. And this is about Alberto. Alberto is 18. He's an undocumented teen from Mexico living in New York. He lives with his sister, and let's just face it, the home life is not very good. His sister Lupe is drug dependent, and she is dating a married man. And he's very violent. So that's not the best home life for Alberto. He is a hard worker, though. He is a house painter, but recently Alberto is starting to hear voices. He hears a mysterious voice in his head, and the voices keep getting stronger, and they're pressuring him to commit violent acts against others. And slowly he's starting to realize he's developing schizophrenia. And while at work, he meets a girl named Grace, and he immediately has this instant connection to her. And he's going to need her help because he is being accused of murdering an elderly client. So Grace decides to help Alberto and prove his innocence. This book has themes of mental illness, young love, racism, mental health, and classism, all mixed in with this romance to make it a sweet and moving story. So if you have teens looking for a romance story, kind of a hopes against all odds, grab I Am Not Alone by Francisco X. Dork. Okay, we are switching gears and we are going to move to graphic novels and manga. First book is called Stars in Their Eyes. This is a teen graphic novel written by Jessica Walton and illustrated by Asuka. This received a starred review in Publishers Weekly, and this is a queer LGBTQ teen Australian romance. And this is a gem. I really adored this book. This is about a young girl named Maisie. Maisie is 14. She suffered through cancer as a child, and as a result of the cancer, it has left her disabled. Her left leg was amputated, and she realizes and she knows that she is a disabled teenager, and she just came out to her mom as being queer. And so that was a big step for her and a big step for her mom. And her mom is taking her to her first fan con, and they're excited to go. And she wants to meet Kara. Kara is an amputee actress that Maisie has followed her whole life. But once they get to the con, Maisie starts to panic. She's having panic attacks. There's so many people. It's a little overwhelming for her. And she has chronic pain in her leg. So it makes it really hard for her to do a lot of the walking. So it's her first time. She's overwhelmed, and she never expected to fall in love with Ollie. Ollie is the 15-year-old non-binary student who's volunteering at the con. This was so sweet. It was wonderful, a wonderful book to read. I loved how the two would go to a quiet room to kind of calm themselves down and center themselves. And it's nice to see calm, quiet spaces. I've seen that at several different conventions or cons. But I really love the scene where Maisie sticks up for herself when she goes to the hotel pool and she's swimming without her leg and everyone is staring at her. And she is confronted by a lady that says, "What are you doing here?" And she said, "Well, I'm swimming. I'm just swimming like everybody else." And she says, "Oh, you're so strong." And Maisie says, "I'm not strong. I'm just living my life like everyone else." And the woman says, "Well, you need to learn to take a compliment." But Maisie sticks up for her and says, "You know what? This is my life, and I am proud to be disabled." Also, Walton, the author, is also queer and disabled. And I love that this story is really focusing on inclusion and representation. So definitely pick up Stars in Their Eyes. The next book on my list is called Mexikid. It's a graphic memoir. This is written and illustrated by Pedro Martin. And this received star reviews in Publishers Weekly and Kirkus. And Pedro, this is all about Pedro, growing up in the 1970s. He is one of 9 kids in his family. 9. That's a lot of kids. And so growing up in the US, he's heard stories about his legendary abuelito, his grandfather. And so they decide as a family to go pick up their grandfather in Mexico. So all 9 kids and mom and dad get into this Winnebago, and they go to get him. And it's a great story learning about Mexican identity and just learning about different cultures and learning about different lives. There are moments in this book that are just laugh out loud funny, because I could understand being around so many siblings and not having your own space. I could totally relate to that. So definitely grab Mexikid. There's also pictures in the back of the book of Pedro's grandfather, and there's real life pictures of him in Mexico. So that was really cool. Definitely grab Mexikid. Now, I know you guys have been asking about mangas, so I am working my hardest to grab and read more mangas. This is The Summer Hikaru Died, Volume 1. This is a teen manga, and this is LGBTQ, written and illustrated by Mokurin. And this centers on Yoshi and Hikaru. They are 2 teen boys. They live in a small town in rural Japan. They have opposite personalities, they have different hobbies, but the 2 of these boys maintain a close friendship, and there's a borderline romantic relationship. Although one winter day, Hikaru decides to go hiking in the mountains, and he's fatally injured, and he goes hiking in the mountains alone during this. But before dying, there's a mysterious eldritch being that comes across him and consumes him. And while it consumes him, it physically becomes him in the process. So kind of like it's a doppelganger. It has Hikaru's face, his voice, even Hikaru's memories. But whatever came down from the mountains, it really is not Hikaru, and Yoshiki can tell. So if you like paranormal manga, this is a series for boys. If you like monsters and secrets and horror, definitely grab The Summer Hikaru Died by Mokurin. Okay, I have a series update, and I need to ask this, show of hands. How many of you have had kids come to your desk and say, do you have the next amulet? Do you have the next amulet? Oh man, I really want the next amulet. I heard that a lot when book 8 came out, because kids just went through that book so quick. And so they would come up to the desk and they'd say, do you have the next one? Do you have the next one? And I'm like, no. And I would say to them, I don't have it. I'm sorry. I could find you something similar to it. But yes, the new amulet, it is coming out. There was a big article about it in School Library Journal and a couple of other places. It is coming out February 6, 2024. Amulet number 9, Wave Rider. And it's written and illustrated by Kazu Kibushi. You definitely want to get this on order. The story surrounds, Emily. And after her confrontation with Eichel, Emily is starting to understand the stone's power and what she has to do to defend Aledia from the shadows. So Emily travels to Typhon to help her mother and Naveen, and Prince Trellis returns to the kingdom of the elves to save the countrymen and to confront the fraud who seized power in the absence of the king. So that is coming out February 6th. Get it in your cart, because I know kids will, if you have kids who have followed the series all these years, they're definitely going to read the conclusion, because this is the final book in the series. Also, for all you Dogman fans, hence why I wore my Dogman earrings, which I don't know if you guys can see, but there's my Dogman earrings. I had to wear my Dogman earrings today because March 19th is when the new Dogman comes out, which is called The Scarlet Shredder. There was a big article in Publishers Weekly about it a couple weeks ago. But with the new Dogman, This one focuses on Dogman and PU. Dogman gets sprayed by a skunk in this story. And how do you get the smell of skunk off you? Simple. Just dunk Dogman in tomato juice. And while the stink is gone, the scarlet red from the tomato juice is still there. So now Dogman has to get rid of this nasty red scarlet that's covering him, but also he has to save the citizens who shunned him. So definitely get both of these books on your radar, because especially during spring break, because March 19th, that's kind of like during spring break. You'll definitely want to pick up Dogman, and you'll definitely want to get Amulet on your radar. So what am I reading right now? These are the fun things I am reading right now. Actually, or what I'm soon to be reading. This book up to your left, this book is coming to me today, because usually I get an email saying that's in transit. This is called Stunt Boy In Between Time. This is a book 2 in the chapter book series by Jason Reynolds, and it's illustrated by Rule III. The Stunt Boy novel, it got a starred review in Booklist. It focuses on Portico Reeves, or Stunt Boy. In the first book, he was going through his parents' divorce. And in this one, he's still trying to be this great superhero that people never heard of. And now he's trying to manage his frets and his new normal with his divorced parents, and still dealing with the bullies in his building. And he finds a new friend. So I'm really excited to pick up Stunt Boy. This middle book is one that was recommended to me by Sandy Deo. Thank you, Sandy. I finally got to it. I'm a big fan of Queen. For those of you that don't know, I am a huge fan of Queen. I have a lot of Queen DVDs, memorabilia. I've been to their concert in Omaha several years ago. I have their CDs, I have their concert DVDs. I'm a huge fan. Sandy said, thanks. This is called Queen in Comics. It's by Emmanuel Marie and Sophie Blittman. This is a brand new book, and it details all about the life of Queen, especially their larger-than-life lead singer, Freddie Mercury. You see how Freddie Mercury grew up, how he got the name to Freddie from his classmates. You see how Queen rose to fame, and interspersed in the story are there's information about the band members. There's information about some of their top selling CDs. And it also talks about his passing. So if you have Queen fans in your town, you definitely want to grab Queen in Comics. The third book is called Vampires of El Norte, and that is by Isabel Cañas. And it's about this woman. She has a friend in her town. They're kind of close. They're kind of they look out for each other. And as teenagers, they go out one night to look for gold, and her father is very protective of her. And so when all their parents are asleep, the girl and the guy, they go out to go look for gold, only there's this thing that attacked her. And the young man that was supposed to be with her drops her off at her parents' house, and the father forbids him never to see his daughter again. Well, years go by, and the woman is now an adult. The young man is now living outside of town, but there's still this thing that's out there, and they reunite. And of course, she confronts him. Hey, why did you just leave me like that years ago, all bitten and bleeding to death? So there's a love story, there's reuniting, there's vampires. I am all for it. Sign me up. So definitely, if you have not read any of these, grab them. I'm going to grab Stunt Boy this week. I'm excited. And we have some upcoming events. For those of you that don't know, we do have Pop YS Live events. It's Wednesdays from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So September 13th, we're going to talk about Teen-tastic Teen-tober. Teen-tober took over Teen Read Week for the American Library Association. And so Teentober celebrates teens, teen services all throughout the month of October. And I'll talk about some different ways that you can celebrate Teentober with your teens at the library. And October 18th, we are going to have a special I Read summer reading preview of the new 2024 theme, which is Read, Renew, Repeat. I'm excited. I have not seen the manual that comes out, so I will find out just along with you guys what's going to be in store for us. If you have not signed up, make sure, oh, look at Sam. Sam's on it. Make sure you register on Iowa Learns so that way you guys can learn more about all of these fun things. And as always, we have a giveaway. We have 3 winners that we pick, and they will receive a Check It Out prize book pack from us. And the packs will be shared via Iowa Shares. And I just want to say congratulations to Ashley Whitrock of Humboldt Public Library, Marilyn Raska Ingleson of Radcliffe Public Library, and Donetta Stewart of Auburn Public Library. Congratulations to the 3 of you. And I hope it looks like everybody, they said, oh, I love my books. Thank you. Wonderful. And with that, I just want to say thank you so much. Check It Out will return at our normal time, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So the same bat time, same bat channel. So please sign up, and I'll see you then.
Yay. Thanks, Janae. I'm going to grab the link to the September. Yeah, September. I cannot believe how fast August went to me. The September Check It Out. And I want to say thank you, everyone, for attending. And I can't type and talk at the same time. So there's a link to register for the September Check It Out in the chat. We'll see you guys next month. Thanks very much to Janae for the great book list today. I do also just want to call out that there were a couple typos with ISBNs that folks pointed out in the chat, so you and I can connect on those before we post the slides, but we'll get those sent around as well. Thanks, everyone.